Code monkey, get up, get coffee. Code monkey, go to job. Code monkey, have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say code monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do code monkey think? Code monkey think maybe manager wanna write login page himself. Code monkey not say it out loud. Code monkey not crazy, just proud. Code monkey like Fritos. Code monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code monkey very simple man. Big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code monkey like you. Code monkey like you.
What's new, Dino Dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. Well, Dino Dudes, that time of the year is come and gone. The time of the year when everyone gathers together to go, Sorry, I'm joking. I'm talking about the Oscars. I should probably disclose this right now. I really don't care about the Oscars all that much, which is kind of strange coming from someone whose job, or at least hobby, is reviewing movies on the internet. Excuse me. Enjoying a nice kickstart, midnight grape flavored. The reason why I don't care much for the Oscars is because most of the best pictures or like the big movies that win all the awards I haven't seen. Usually due to the fact that they're Oscar pandering and don't really interest me all that much. But this year was much different because a number of movies I greatly enjoyed were up for Oscars. So for once I was pretty invested in it. Now, I'm gonna say right now, Black Panther shouldn't have been nominated for Best Picture. It should have been nominated for Best Set Design, Best Costumes, and everything else it won, but Best Picture, if Infinity War didn't make it, I'm sorry, you're kind of reaching it there. That's just my opinion, though. And you know what? Let's talk about a director who I believe, well, I know this is the first time I've ever talked about him on this channel, Mr. Spike Lee. Yeah, if you can't tell by the title, I'm going to be reviewing his newest film, the 2018 Academy Award-winning movie, BlacKkKlansman. I should probably also state for the record right now, this should be pretty darn obvious even before you click on this video. If you are easily offended or you don't like dealing with a lot of if you have an issue with racism or just really hard to stomach scenes about what people were actually like a while ago, just skip this movie. You know, just do a favor, skip this review and go check out my new show, Raptor's Combat Corner, where I talk about all the new MK11 characters as they come out. Because this movie is fantastic. I'll tell you right now, it is a fantastic movie. I think it should have won Best Picture. But I'm at least pretty darn happy that it won Best Adapted Screenplay at least. It deserved it. So, let's talk about it. The story, when I first heard about this, I didn't know this was based on a true story, and I think it's a really interesting story about, well, a black police officer in Colorado Springs who ends up infiltrating the local KKK branch and essentially is trying to figure out what they're planning with an attack. I don't want to spoil too much. Just off that, you could have a pretty interesting film, let alone the fact that it was actually based on true events, which kind of blew my mind when I was doing some research on the film. And it turned out, this did happen. Although there are a couple of things that are different, such as Ron's partner, who is known in the movie, played by Adam Driver, as... Shoot, I forget his name, hang on. Flip Zimmerman. They never knew his real name. He never gave his real name during the actual investigation in the 70s. So anyhow, that's pretty much the main major one. The only other two I could find, and I'm just looking online real quick, is it takes place in 1972, but the events actually happened in 1979, and well, there is a bomb plot in the movie. It was actually inspired by a different case of a real bombing by them, and this was added in the movie essentially to try and add some drama to it, which was very well done. So, with that, you've also kind of heard my thoughts on the writing. Let me just say, the characters are fantastic. I love Ron and I love Flip. These two characters, I love Ron because he's just such a well-developed character. He's a very likable guy who's just trying to do his best he's trying to do his best in a very bad situation. I love Flip because he's kind of awkward, but he also did get some laughs from me because, well, you kind of have to watch the movie to see it. And let me just say, I have seen a lot of movies where there's characters you're supposed to hate that I absolutely hate. I don't think I've ever had so much hatred for a fictional character, or at least a character in a movie despite being based off real people, than I did in this movie. For pretty obvious reasons. But look, I'm not here to talk about what actually happened, I'm just here to talk about the movie. All the characters are written so you either know who's the good guy or the bad guy, and they don't really try and do like, oh, they're bad guys, but they're actually misunderstood. It's straight up like, no, these guys are crazy, these guys are the bad guys, these guys are the good guys. Here's the clever and interesting ways they manage to essentially outsmart the bad guys and ultimately stop them. You feel bad for all the characters as you see, well, this should come as no surprise, a lot of bigotry and just general racism towards them because, well, it's the 1970s. The movie is smart with not being too heavy-handed with it. It is pretty heavy-handed, but not being like, oh, woe is us. It's like, you know what, this is just how it was, but they're still gonna try and do their best to get through it. The characters, you want to see them succeed and you feel good when they do, and part of that has to do with the acting. The acting from everyone in this movie was spectacular. I really think that all these actors were great. John David Washington, the guy who plays Ron, I looked him up because I hadn't really seen him in anything else. In fact, I should probably clarify, this was the second Spike Lee movie I'd ever seen. The only other one I had seen was Old Boy, which I did enjoy. I haven't seen it in a while though, so I can't tell you my thoughts right now, but I do remember enjoying it. And I think I've seen Do the Right Thing, or at least part of it. Regardless, John David Washington, he's a great actor at playing a very straight-faced and serious kind of actor, but I do think that he pulls it off very well. He gives the role all the seriousness that it deserves. He certainly does not try and phone it in. Adam Driver, who I only ever know, the only other thing I've seen him in was Kylo Ren in the new Star Wars movies. That was kind of weird. Alec Baldwin is in this movie, actually. He does a great job, but then again, he's Alec Baldwin, and I really do like him. Topher Grace, for those of you who don't know, he was, well, Eddie Brock and Venom in the third Spider-Man movie, and he shows that he can do a lot more than just try to be a cheesy, goofy bad guy. Jasper, I'm going to butcher this name. BlacKkKlansman. I think that's how I say his name. Jasper BlacKkKlansman. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that is how I say his name, and I'm horribly sorry if I have just horrifically butchered your name, sir. He did a great job. There really wasn't a bad actor in this entire film. Everything else about this movie is just really well done. It's got Spike Lee's traditional filmmaking style, and I do enjoy his style of filmmaking. The camera work is great, the music is great. The only thing that would kind of hesitate me to recommend it is the movie itself, and this should kind of go without saying. If you are easily offended, then yeah, this is not the movie for you. And it does, this is kind of a spoiler, but it does have footage from the 2017 Charlottesville attack in the end. Now, I'm not saying we should never address it, but I am saying if you know someone or were someone who was affected by that, it might be kind of hard to watch. But look, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, I'm just trying to give you a heads up that before you go into this, you should probably know this. And if you're asking why I'm doing it this extremely, well, I got somebody who came up and yelled at me for about 4 minutes in public because their kid saw my review on Sausage Party and then watched the movie because they told the parents, oh, Raptor said it was okay, and their parents didn't think twice about it because they assumed I was some sort of, like, parental advisory person. So, yeah, by the way, if you are one of those people who doesn't ever look at the trailers or what your kids are watching, you're a terrible parent. Sorry, I've been meaning to say that for a long time now. Regardless, I can highly recommend BlacKkKlansman for the right people. If you like Spike Lee movies, you're gonna love this movie. I had not seen many Spike Lee movies, and now I want to go out and watch all those other movies. I'm really happy that this guy was able to win an Oscar. I'm pretty sure that must have felt amazing. Well, admittedly, I haven't seen Green Book, so I can't compare it to this. I wish this had won Best Picture. Hey, an Oscar is still an Oscar, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, if you are into historical, fictionalized crime dramas, then I think you'll love this movie. If you're into Spike Lee movies, you're gonna love this movie. If you're just into something different than not a lot of films, if you're into something kind of different, I guess, I'm not really sure how to classify this movie too well. It's it's almost a documentary in a way, but more of a biographical film. Kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody. Then if you're into that, a bit darker mind you, you're gonna enjoy it. So with that being said, Dino Dudes, that's all the time I got for now. So until next time, this is the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see all you Dino Dudes around. Later.